So the addition sign is opening the door for the exponents, the parentheses, and the divide, because they all come first in order of operations. Love it. Love it. That's awesome. All right, so PEMDAS, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Okay. So what I would like you to do is I would like you to, let's see if we can change this around. Let's get a little highlight action going on it. Oh, we're kind of a green day today. Okay, so I want you to do that one, and I would like you to evaluate that if A is, if A is 3, B is 6, and C is 1. This can be, this can be up at the top above addition and multiplication. So up at the top, very top of your page, please evaluate B squared minus 4AC. So remember, we should write it out before we start trying. The more we can write out, the less we have to do in our head. Okay? So B squared is going to be 6 squared minus 4 times 3 times 1. Okay? All right? So, order of operation, parentheses. We have a set of parentheses, but there's nothing to be done inside of them because it's just 6. Okay? Exponents. Do we have an exponent? Yeah. 6 squared. So that's 6 times 6. So on our multiplication table, what is 6 times 6? 36. So this one becomes 36. Do we have any more exponents? Nope. Okay. Multiplication and division. How do we do multiplication and division? From left to right. Okay. So we don't have one here. This one's got a multiplication in it. So we're going to work left to right. 4 times 3. 12 times 1. Still 12. So this one becomes 12. And then we've got a minus sign in between. 36 minus 12. 24. 6 minus 2. 3 minus 1 gets me 24.
Any questions on that one?
No? All right. Remember, if you have a question. Now, so if you did have a question on this one, remember, now would be the time to ask a question on this one. Not just sit here and not do it, not let it fester, let it stew. All right. So, let's talk same signs, different signs when we're adding and when we're multiplying. Okay? So, if we're adding and we have the same sign, what do? Same sign with addition. This goes way back to last week and the week before. And we're cyclically learning here now. Okay? Same sign with addition. What do we do with the digits? We add them together. What about the sign? What? Keeps the sign? Okay, yep. So addition is going to have same sign. So when I move this down, it's going to say same sign, or same sign. It's going to say add the digits, keep the sign. What if the signs are different? Subtract the signs in the bigger, the air quote bigger one, is it? Yep, okay. All right. Fill that in. Add the values or the digits. I think we also said there. Instead of values, you can put digits. Keep the sign. So a positive plus a positive is positive. Negative plus a negative is negative. If the signs are different, you subtract the values. And we take the sign for the bigger one. All right, what about multiplication? If the signs are the same, so we multiply the digits, but then what the sign, the the positivity of our answer would be not the same. When we're multiplying, so a positive times a positive or a negative times a negative, it's always positive. Yep, okay. And if they're different, so positive times a negative, it's always negative. Yep, okay. So if the signs are the same, it's always positive. If the signs are different, it's always negative.
Yep. So if you had like 5 times 3, positive. If you had negative 2 times negative 3, positive. You must have a unit assessment coming up, right?
Next week, a week from today, we'll be taking a test.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tomorrow, we're taking a formative.
Right.
Okay.
And are those graded in here? Those go in the grade book?
Okay. Good on that one? I think that's it for that slide. There you go. There you go. All right. So, number 1, negative 10 plus 14. So the first thing that you got to do is you got to figure out what you're doing, because you've got 4 different choices right now for what you're doing. Are you multiplying? Are you dividing? Are you adding, or are you subtracting? So we're adding, okay? So is that number line or multiplication chart? Number line. So we start at negative 10, and which way are we going? Up 14 gets us to 4. Okay? All right, so that one gets us to 4. Extra one, okay? An extra one, you can do it right underneath it. Negative 10, now minus 14. What is negative 10? Minus 14. 24? Which one? Because they're different. Remember, positive 24. When you say positive, or when you just say 24, I'm thinking positive 24. You know what I mean? Which is different than negative 24. Okay, so which one is it? Negative? Because we started with a negative, and which way do we go? Down. So it's got to go to negative 24.
I gotta ask, what's the 1.5?
We added it in. Oh, that big. It was an extra example. Okay? Underneath here. Oh, we got a 2.5 too. You do 2 and 3. Now, we did have it on there. What is on there? All right, you do 2, 3, and 2.5. I didn't realize they were on your note sheet. Seven minus 8 for number 2. Negative 1. Okay, because we start at 7, we go down 8. That puts us at negative 1. Okay. You want to do 2.5 first, or you want to do 3 first? 3 first? Okay. All right. So please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Parentheses. I got one. Do I need to do anything inside of it? Nope. Don't have to do anything inside of it. Exponents. Do I have any exponents? Nope. Multiplication or division. Do we have some multiplication or division? Yep. We got here. Okay. So 2 times negative 4 is negative 8. And then we still have plus 5. No more multiplication, no more division. So now we can go to the adding and subtracting. Negative 8 plus 5 puts me at negative 3. Okay. Now, since most of you are showing your work, if you're not showing your work, you should be showing your work. So since most of you are showing your work, maybe even put a little circle around the negative 3 just to signify that that's the answer. Okay, right? Because you should be showing your work as you're going through and doing all of these problems. Okay. 2.5 then. Do I have parentheses? Yes. Do I need to do anything inside those parentheses? No. So we're good there. Exponents. Do we have any exponents? No. M and D, multiplication and division. No multiplication, no division? Or do I have multiplication and division? Yeah, we do. So we've got this multiplying right here. What is that?
20.
20?
Negative.
Negative 20. So it's minus then negative 20. Minus a negative is adding, right? So this could be, we could leave it as negative 2 minus negative 20 like that, or we could write it as negative 2 plus 20. Either way, that puts us in our final answer at 18.
I was wondering if you're going to do it that way. Thanks, that page. I got a question for you. Do you ever teach them the plus plus? Okay.
Yeah, we did that last week.
Okay.
The subtraction, yeah. Yep.
And
When you
then-
have two negatives in a row, or two subtraction signs in a row.
Yeah, you just make those plus plus if you want. Now, do you always also teach them do that and bring the sign down, or do you ever do negative?
That one we haven't done yet.
Okay.
No. Yep. Okay. All right. Evaluate each expression using substitution. So whenever we see an x, we're going to make it be 3. Whenever we see z, we're going to make it be negative 6. So this would be negative 6 times 3. And we should write that step out. Minimal, that's what you need to do. You need to write that step out, that substitution step. Okay? So negative 6 times positive 3 is negative 18. Yeah. Oh. Okay. Hit the X. Okay. So you now do me 2z minus x and 2x minus z. The 2x minus z you might have to add in off to the side. 5.5. You might have to add that one in off to the side. Oh, here we go. So this would be 2 times z would be negative 6. Then minus x would be 3. 2 times negative 6 is the first thing that I'm going to do because I don't have parentheses that I have to do anything inside, and I don't have exponents. 2 times negative 6 is? Anybody? 2 times negative 6? Negative 12.
Good.
Negative 12 minus 3? Negative 15. Okay. Flip-flop it around, so now we would have 2 times 3, and then minus negative 6. 2 times 3, 6, minus negative 6. Well, I've heard,
Let's
I've
write
heard
it out.
3 different answers here now.
We know that's wrong.
So 2 times 3 is 6,
Yep,
and we have a minus negative.
minus
6.
negative, so that's plus. So that becomes positive 12.
Yeah, so it's a really good idea. Just each time bring your work down.
Yep. Write it out and keep your work flowing so that you see what your brain is doing. Because sometimes, for us too, for Mr. H and for myself, sometimes things get all jumbled up inside your brain because you're trying to do too many things at once. Okay?
And
It happens.
And these are only a couple steps, but later
Yep.
in the year you're gonna start getting to some longer ones,
Yep.
and then you start skipping work or trying to get out a little faster, you end up making more mistakes.
Make more mistakes. Missing a sign every once in a while. People probably miss that negative sign. I've seen it. I've seen a lot of stuff on homework that gets turned in. You're missing signs because you're trying to do too much in your head. So write it out. A scuba diver Now, just so you know, in a word problem, we're not scared of them. We're okay with word problems. We don't fear them. Okay? For the most common mistake made in a word problem is people not reading it and trying to just say, oh, there's 10, there's 25, I got to do something with those two, and they make up whatever it is they need to do. Okay? So a scuba diver sees a really cool clownfish at the depth of 10 feet below sea level. He then spots an octopus sitting on the ocean floor and plummets 25 feet. What is the scuba diver's altitude? Okay? So first off, you can draw yourself a little picture. So here is the ocean, right?
That's good.
Okay? How far down is the fish? 10 feet, right? And make sure we weren't in meters. 10 feet. Okay? So is that going to be above or below the ocean? Below. Okay? So really that is, so if we think of the ocean as 0, okay? Like have you ever heard altitude? Sea level, okay? It's always, 10 feet above sea level, 50 feet below sea level, etc. Okay? So the surface of the ocean would be 0. So if the clownfish, now here we go, here's clownfish. There's our clownfish, there's our Nemo. I should have done it orange. And then made stripes.
Are you sure you don't want to be an art teacher?
Oh yeah. There, we got striped clownfish now. Okay? It's 10 feet down, right? So that would be at -10, right? Because it's down from 0. Okay? Then, it will look like a heart, but then it's going to be, octopus at 8.
Yep, that's right.
That's only 6. He's got 2 behind him, too. Okay? Alright? Then you got an octopus 25 more feet down, right? So this gap right here is 25 more. So how far down is the octopus? So makes that, what did you say? -35? Because it would be -10, which is where the clownfish was, and since we went down 25, down on our number line is subtracting, so it's -10 minus 25. So he is at a depth of -35 feet, or we would also take +35. Oops, I should put feet first.
35, yeah.
Feet
Below.
Okay, and that would be the negative part then of that one. Okay? The 35 feet below would also suffice the negative, but only in an ocean problem. That would work. Like you couldn't give me. Let's go back one here. Where was here on this one? You put -15. You can't give me 15 below. You know what I mean? And because we're not talking about an ocean problem. Good. I should circle my answer.
I think we should send this down to the art department.
The art department,
Have
like
them
clownfish,
have them hanging on outside the room.
you make a mural out of it. We got murals hanging up in all
Yeah.
all the hallways.
That's pretty good.
All right. So today you've got. We're going to hand out the next assignment now, which is 8.8. Okay. You also have A7. If you haven't turned in A7, that one's due today. If you haven't turned in any of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, turn those in. It's work time. It's catch-up time day today. Okay. If you have fixes to make on those, we can make fixes. If you have the formative from last week that you haven't fixed and turned in, we can work on that. So there's plenty of stuff for you to be doing. You should not be sitting here. I don't think there's anybody that has the ability to just sit here and do nothing for the next 23 minutes. Okay? Because for sure I'm giving you another homework.